When you come to Kvarner, treat yourself to an experience you will remember. Enjoy the luxurious ambience. Experience superior service. Indulge in endless pleasures. The pearl of the tourism offer in the pearl of the Adriatic. Liburnia, Hotels and Villas.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Vallelunga Circuit here for the first race of EuroNASCAR 2 here as part of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series American Festival of Rome. We've already had qualifying for both EuroNASCAR Pro and EuroNASCAR 2, and we've already had the first race this weekend for EuroNASCAR Pro. Now it's time for EuroNASCAR 2 action, a 60-kilometer race, 15 laps. Getting underway very, very shortly. We are going to be going green in around about 25 minutes time, and it is going to be a very exciting race. We saw quite a bit of drama in the EuroNASCAR Pro race, a couple of safety cars in there, a couple of incidents happening throughout the race. We'll see how the EuroNASCAR 2 drivers get on, but it is a fantastic circuit that we have got to race around this weekend. Vallelunga Circuit, 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles there or thereabouts, depending on your units of choice. And it is proven to be a massive challenge for the drivers, not just the circuit itself, but the heat here in Italy. It has been 30 degrees plus all day pretty much, and especially in EuroNASCAR Pro, it has been a challenge for the drivers to keep their cool. Drivers getting very, very exhausted in that first race. And one of the drivers, Liam Hazelman, is doing double duty. I think a couple of drivers might be doing double duty this weekend. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge for them as well. He finished EuroNASCAR Pro maybe an hour and a half ago. And they're straight back in the car for EuroNASCAR 2. Just as always, and he is standing by with our pole sitter.
It was not an easy way to get to you for this interview. So how do you feeling having so much fans around you?
That's amazing. That's why I love so much the home race. Because, you know, all the people that follow me on YouTube can come and watch me. You know, I still don't have many international followers, but I have many Italian fans, and that's simply amazing.
Now to the race. You have to go into the tunnel to focus. What is your plan in the first lap on the start?
Never go back, never look back. Only look forward. That's it.
All right, grazie mille. Thank you.
Yeah, easily one of the most popular drivers, if not the most popular driver in both EuroNASCAR Pro and EuroNASCAR 2. Alberto NASCAR there, fantastic position for him to be starting in. He's had 2 race wins this season already, one in Valencia and one at Brands Hatch. He's hoping to make that 3 race meetings in a row where he gets a race win. And wouldn't it be special here at his home race as well? Hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, a very successful YouTube channel, and his first season in EuroNASCAR 2 is going splendidly. Lowest position finished, 2nd, so brilliant start to the season for Alberto NASCAR. And we've got another driver waiting down on the grid with Andre.
I'm here with Vladimiros Tsotsis. You had a big smile on your face with all the fans around you, right?
Yeah, it's very nice to see so many people here in Italy, and you know, it's the real motorsport today, and it's a big celebration. It's so nice to see all the nationalities together during those difficult times. Thanks to the fans, really.
You're starting from the first row. We have a very high-speed left turn and right turn at the beginning. How do you want to beat Alberto NASCAR?
Yeah, a good start will be the best. So a good start, clean all the way until the end, and keep pushing, keep improving, which is very important each lap. And yes, the result will come.
It's quite hot, so the tire degradation is playing a big role here. How is the tire wear when the track is getting hotter and hotter?
Yeah, sure, it's more difficult and more difficult every lap, so you have to manage it correctly without blocking and all that stuff. So yes, I am used to it because of my island, Cyprus, so yeah, we are here to do our job.
We have a lot of drivers coming from warm places. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had Alon Day, of course, in EuroNASCAR Pro, giving a pretty similar answer to that one. I think he said something along the lines of, mate, I'm coming from the desert. So yeah, that's pretty much a perfect answer. They're used to the heat. Some of the other drivers, maybe not so much, but regardless, the heat is going to be affecting the drivers, whether or not they think it's going to be sat there on the grid. I think a couple of the EuroNASCAR Pro drivers found out the hard way just how difficult it's going to be to make it through this race. It will be slightly easier for the EuroNASCAR 2 guys because they've got a slightly shorter race. But someone who knows just how difficult it was in EuroNASCAR Pro is standing by with Andre.
I'm here with Liam Hazemans. I think we have to be very quick right now. So, what are your thoughts about that race?
The first one of this one?
This one.
This one, yeah, well, for sure we're much more in the front, so yeah, it's really nice. It's actually the same place I started, I think, in Brands Hatch. So if we can repeat it, it's good, but yeah, no, for sure. In the first way, we had a bit of tango because we're in the midfield. But yeah, no, now we have a great opportunity to fight for the win. I think the two guys in front and also Martin, those two are really quick, so it should be a bit of a challenge, but we made something with the setup and we're just going to try it out now, so it should be fine normally.
All right, thank you so much and have fun.
Thanks.
Great to hear from Liam Hazemans as well, obviously doing double duty this weekend. Just finished the EuroNASCAR Pro race about an hour and a half ago. Back into the car for EuroNASCAR 2. A little bit of a shorter race for him. He's going to be a bit further to the front. Currently sitting second in the championship. Obviously the last round's race winner, round 4 at Brands Hatch. And lowest finish for him was 6th position in round number 1 in EuroNASCAR Pro. Looks like we've got Andre standing by with another driver. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, I'm here with the Finn, Tuomas Pantinen. How are you enjoying this event so far?
I think it's quite nice. We have people in the grandstands and feeling is great, yeah.
A lot of drivers told me they're coming from hot countries. Alan Day from the desert, Vladimiros Tsotis from Cyprus. Now I talked to a Finn. How do you handle the heat here in Italy?
Yeah, we have the sauna in Finland, so it's quite normal.
Okay, thank you so much and enjoy the race.
Thank you.
I didn't think that one through, to be fair, but yep, they do indeed. They have the saunas. They're definitely used to the heat there in Finland as well. If not outside, definitely inside. Yeah, and that's pretty much, it's actually a very good description of what it will be like inside of those cars, Andre.
Yeah, we're fishing drivers here right now. He tried to escape, but no chance. The reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion, Martin Dubek. How's it going?
It's really hard today because I drove both categories and I'm really tired. Inside the car is over 60 degrees, so I hope now it will be better than before we had free safety cars procedure. So now I hope it will be without safety car. I start P3, so we will see how it will go, but for sure I want the podium and for sure I want to catch the win.
All right, thank you so much and have fun.
Bye.
60 degrees inside the cockpit. Wow, that is very tough for the drivers, and because they're in there for quite a while. They got to get in around 7 minutes before the actual race itself gets underway. And then, of course, if you add in the safety car procedures that we had in EuroNASCAR Pro earlier on, they're in the car for a long time. And yeah, like we said after that first race earlier on, it can be very difficult with the air not being circulated around, etc. It can get incredibly hot inside of those cockpits. So hopefully the drivers don't have to spend quite as long as they did in EuroNASCAR Pro here now, but 60-kilometer race should make it a little bit easier for them. It's only 3 laps cut out, but those 3 laps might just make it a tad bit easier. Andre's back on the grid.
Christian Malczarek, we tried to talk to each other in qualifying, but that didn't work out. Now we have the opportunity. How are you doing here at Vallelunga?
It's a surprise for me that I am at 5th place at a totally new track for me. Didn't expect that. So the qualifying was quite chaos or messy with the red flags, but it worked out for us, and we'll see what's going to be in the race.
Do you like that track so far?
Yeah, I like it. Usually the fast corners, slow corners, it's really nice to drive.
All right, I think we have the national anthems coming up, so good luck and have fun.
Thank you. See you.
Yes, indeed, we will have the national anthems coming up in just a moment. First of all, it will be the national anthem of the United States of America. This is NASCAR after all. That should be coming up in a few minutes' time. The drivers are already there. You can see fans have been cleared from the grid. As everybody is now, it's getting to crunch time. Only 12 minutes until we get the starting command. Some of the most famous words in all of motorsport will be uttered by the Grand Marshal of the event. And I've seen this a couple of times. I saw it on the grid for EuroNASCAR Pro. These miniature cars, these miniature versions of these cars, I want to know where they've got them, because I would quite like one. They look really cool, especially with some of the fantastic liveries that we've got on the grid here. I saw one of Coley's car, the number 54 machine, bright pink. So yeah, I would love to find out where they got those. Those are super cool. Fans are all over the circuit, not just in the grandstands. They're lining the fences, trying to get a look in at some NASCAR racing action. Drivers into the cockpits already. Very ready to go is the driver in the number 5 machine there. And you can really feel the atmosphere around the circuit. The fans have been absolutely sensational all over the circuit throughout the entire weekend. A little bit quiet this morning for qualifying, but the second EuroNASCAR Pro Race 1 was about to begin. Grandstands absolutely packed. You can see there on the screen. Having a fantastic time in the American Festival of Rome 2022. NASCAR Grand Prix of Italy. First of 4 races earlier on. We've got race number 2 of the weekend coming up in around about 10 minutes time. As we wait for the national anthems to begin. We will have the national anthem of the United States of America, followed by the Italian national anthem. But first, we've got another interview.
Yeah, I'm here with Melvin de Groot. I hope that's okay in Dutch.
It's very good.
Okay.
That's easy.
You're the legend trophy dominator so far in this season. So what's your plan today?
Well, win again, I hope. No, it's we're in a good position. I think first of the legends, 8 overall. So in that way, it's a good position to be in. The only concern is the heat. The last few days, it was so incredibly hot in the car. So if there's no safety cars and stuff like that, it's going to be a tough race.
Some other driver told me when the safety car came out and they were slowly, the car heated up. So he preferred it to have full speed and a little bit of wind in the car. What do you think?
Well, yeah, but you can just stick your hand out of the window, what I do, and then it catches a little bit of wind. So I do that. And I have ice in my shoe. That helps a lot as well, sometimes.
All right.
So yeah, no, but I'm looking forward to the race, and yeah, let's have some fun.
All right. Thank you. Dankjewel. Tot ziens.
Graag gedaan. See you.
That's an interesting one. Ice in the suit. I guess that's definitely one way of cooling yourself down. The umbrellas in the cockpits of the cars. Some of the teams doing it, some of the teams not. Definitely got to have some effect. Definitely got to help them a little bit, just to keep the cars a little bit cooler inside for the beginning of the race. Well, we are almost ready for the national anthem of the United States of America. The national anthem of the United States of America, followed now by the national anthem of the host country, that is Italy. And applause all around the circuit for the national anthem of Italy. And we are now just 5 minutes away from the command to start the race from the Grand Marshal. So let's take a look at what has happened previously in EuroNASCAR 2. Well, of course, the season started off here at Valencia for the NASCAR Grand Prix of Spain, and it was a good start initially for Vladimiros Tsiotsis in that machine that you can see on the screens at the moment. An emphatic victory for him. Race number 2, slightly different story, as we can see here. 3 wide at the beginning, and around the outside swoops Alberto NASCAR in that number 88. They had a massive battle in the opening few laps, trading positions back and forth. But in race 2, it was the 88 of Alberto NASCAR who managed to pull away in the end and take the victory. Then we headed to Brands Hatch for the NASCAR Grand Prix of the UK. Once again, it was Tsiotsis who led the field through the first lap, but then a safety car near the end allowed this to happen with Alberto NASCAR in towards Stuart Hairpin and a move up the inside to take the lead of the race in overtime and eventually to take the win as well. He wins in 2 consecutive races, rounds 2 and 3 in EuroNASCAR 2. You can see just how much it meant to him there. And then race number 2 at Brands Hatch, round 4 of the season. NASCAR out in front at the beginning, leading the field for the first few laps of the race. But then near the end, once again, we got a safety car and an overtime period at the end of the race. Keep your eyes on the number 50 just behind. Liam Hazelman managed to make this move on the final lap of the race, side by side through Paddock Hill Bend, and managed to get in front of Alberto NASCAR to take the lead, starting 3rd position 2 laps before the end of the race. He ended up taking the win in race number 4, putting himself 2nd in the championship. You can see the championship standings on the left of your screen. NASCAR leading, Hazelman's in 2nd, Tsiotsis in 3rd. Well, we are just 3 minutes away from the command from the Grand Marshal now. And we are going down to the grid once again to Andre.
Thanks, Dane. We're still here. Nobody told us to leave, so we tried to grab a word with Jill Insta, driving the 56 of Carl Racing. He's at the moment mounting the wheel, and I think when the preparation is ready, we can grab a quick word before we have the command, the most famous words in motorsports. Jill, can I talk to you a little bit? Yep. Okay. Decent starting position. So what's your goal here today?
I have a long way to the front, so my goal is for sure getting a good start and then try to pick up some positions in the first laps and then try to keep the pace with the front guys and just yeah, save the tires. It's very hot, so I know that tomorrow is another hard day. So yeah, just drive to the front, keep up with the guys in front and save my tires for tomorrow.
When people follow you on social media, we know that practicing, training, keeping your fitness high is very important. So with the heat here in Italy, how important is it to be totally fit?
Yeah, I think it's the most important event right now with the heat. The dehydration is the key for those events, and I have the right people around me. So yeah, key point is dehydration.
All right, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a very late interview on the grid, in the cars already. Always good to hear from as many drivers on the grid as we possibly can. And now we are just 1 minute away from finally getting to hear those words from the Grand Marshal and getting this party started. As you can see, the drivers having their teams having to leave them now as we get ready to go racing here for the first time in EuroNASCAR 2 in 2022 at Vallelunga. And we have got the Italian on pole position, home favorite, fan favorite. We will see just how this goes. If you have noticed a couple of empty grid slots, it is because unfortunately we are missing a couple of drivers after some incidents in both qualifying and also in EuroNASCAR Pro. Number 3 car is done for today. There was a crash involving Gabion, and that car is unable to start this race, so we do not have Del So for this race. But now it's time to cast our attention trackside, where we're about to hear the starting command. And the drivers start their engines now as we will get ready to go racing. The formation lap starting in just a minute's time. The field will be under the control of the pace car until just before the final corner, where it will be under the control of Alberto NASCAR, the pole position man. Everybody leaving the cars now. It is just the drivers and their machines. Looks to be a little bit of an issue a little bit further back in the grid as the safety car pulls away the pace car to start off the formation lap, and the cars will start to pull away as well. And there they go, led by Alberto NASCAR. Although there seems to be a little bit of a stationary issue there on the grid, but we'll take a look at the starting grid first of all. Pole position for Alberto NASCAR. Brilliant qualifying for him. Second position lining up alongside him, it is Vladimiros. And then we've got Martin Dubeck, of course, reigning champion in the series, starting alongside Liam Hazelmans. Both of those drivers doing double duty today on the second row of the grid. Christian Malkarek in a 5th position in the number 24 that won in EuroNASCAR Pro earlier on, of course. And then Tuomas Pontinen in P6. Number 3 car of Ulysse Del So unfortunately will not be starting the race because of an incident in EuroNASCAR Pro. Melvin de Groot starting in P8. P9 in the number 16 is going to be Remigio. And then Alberto Panabianco in the number 89 starting in 10th position. Paul Geoffroy will start in the number 33 car in 11th alongside Adfate in 12th. And that rounds out the top 12 drivers on the grid. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, missing a couple of drivers due to incidents both in qualifying this morning and also in the first race of today. Just come to the territory of having drivers sharing a single car for multiple race events. These cars are exactly the same ones that are being driven in EuroNASCAR Pro, just by different drivers. And here is what the drivers are facing today. Not only are they facing 30 degrees heat in the sunshine, they're also facing 4.085 kilometers, or around about 2.5 miles, of the Autodromo di Vallelunga, and it is a monster of a circuit. Turns 1 definitely flat, turn 2 flat on the first lap, maybe on fresh tyres, we've heard, but otherwise you want to lift just to save your tyres a bit. Compression through there, the chassis of the car hits the floor, and then through turn 3. That is going to be crucial at the beginning of this race. And then the heavy braking zone on the circuit, Chimney 1 and Chimney 2, turns 4 and 5. That is where you'll be looking to make up positions in the opening couple of laps in this race. Then Campagnano, the turn number 7, open hairpin. You can definitely make a couple moves stick there. It's one of the best overtaking opportunities on the circuit if you can get a good run out of the chimneys. And then into turn 8 at Sorate. And that is a very difficult left-hander. Massive sausage curves on the inside and on the outside on the exit as well. So definitely make sure you keep it between the white lines out there, guys. Then it's turn 9, a left-hander. Very tricky to get it flat out just about into the braking zone for turn 10 at Semaforo. And that is also a very tricky part of the circuit. Easy to lock up a brake and lock up a tyre. And obviously only one set of tyres for the entire weekend. Means if you get a flat spot now, well, that's going to make not just this race, but also tomorrow's race very difficult for you. Torrentino, where the cars are now, just coming out of tightest corner on the circuit, over 180 degrees, very slow as well. We've seen a couple of incidents happen there over the weekend so far, and now turns 12 and 13. The left and the right of Esse, very difficult, massive curbs on the inside of both apexes, very tricky to get that part of the circuit right. And now, coming up towards the final corner, Roma, here where the pit entry is located, we see the Lamborghini pace car pull into the pit lane. The field is under the control of Alberto Nasca for the first time this season. Vladimir Ostotsis is not the pole position man. We will see now the field is under the control of Alberto Nasca. And we are green, making our way through turns number 1. It looks like a great start from Vladimiros Tsiotsis, and Alberto Nasca is going to sweep through turn 2 in front. He takes the lead, heading down in towards the chimneys for the first time, and it is going to be Beck just in front of Liam Hazelmans, and Hazelmans is under threat now from the drivers around him, side by side, and I think he's going to lose the position there. He is. Looks like everyone's made it through cleanly so far. We got one car off into the gravel, but he comes back onto the circuit safely, and nothing is going to happen with that one. And there's the number 56 machine, of course, that is shared with the EuroNASCAR Pro Championship leader. But Alberto Nasca leads the race as they make their way through Campagnano now, followed by Vladimiros Tsiotsis, Martin Dubeck, and not Liam Hazelmans. It is, in fact, the number 23 car that has managed to get himself up into 4th position. Number 23 car, of course, being driven by Tuomas Pontanen, who's managed to get himself up into 4th position there. Number 24, a little bit further back there, as we all make their way down through turn 11 now. Mostly single file. Haven't seen too many lunges being made just yet. Are we going to make it all clean through the first lap? We didn't manage that in EuroNASCAR Pro. Are we going to do it in EuroNASCAR 2? And I think for the most part, we have been able to, as they make their way in towards the final corner now. The 23 in 4th position, just leading a little train of cars. He's got Liam Hazelmans just behind him as well. But they're going to come across the line now and start lap number 2 of 15. It is still NASCAR leading. Oh, a bit of gravel and grass and dust has been kicked up there from one of the top 3. Running slightly wide through there, a little bit optimistic with how much speed they could have carried. Just on the apex of turn 3 there. Your top 10 as it stands right now. Alberto Nasca in 1st position, Tsiotsis in 2nd, Dubeck in 3rd, Pontanen in 4th, Hazelmans in 5th. Those are the 2 on your screen at the moment. The Crute in P6. Then we've got Malkorek just behind in P7, Panabianco in P8, Kolok in P9, and Schober in P10. As they make their way through turn 8 now. And turn 9, it looks very simple, but it's not, because you have to try and get over to the left-hand side of the circuit as much as possible, whilst also getting onto the brakes for Semaforo. and then the slowest corner on the circuit. You'll see them taking a very wide entry through that part of the circuit just to get as good of an exit as possible. There's no use trying to gain more speed throughout the corner. It's the slowest corner on the circuit. There's only so quick you can take it. You set it up, get a good exit, and get all of that exit speed. The 23 has a little bit of a lock-up into the final corner there. Very small, probably you had a flat spot the tyre, but something to be aware of there. Very easy to flat spot the tyres in quite a few corners on this circuit. Quite a few curved braking zones that just invite you to brake just that little bit harder. But then you end up snagging a brake. And still very close. Hazelman's on the back of Pontonen here. 4/10 of a second separating them as they make their way out of 222 through turn 6 and in towards Campagnano again. This is easily one of the best overtaking opportunities, but you have to be a little bit closer than what Hazelman's is at the moment. We are on lap 3 of 15. Alberto NASCAR leads. 8/10 of a second is the gap behind to Tsiotsis. And they're going side by side here, the 69 and the 24. It's the Kroot defending from Malkarek, and they're going to go side by side through turn 8 as well. 24 gets forced wide and has to cede that battle right there. This has allowed the number 89 of Panabianco to try and get involved in this one as well. They've got to watch out, these two. They don't want to be making too much of a meal of this. Otherwise, they will end up just ceding time. And well, we know that Panabianco is not going to back down from a fight just at the beginning of a race. Hearing that we have got some slight technical issues for the number 56 car. Hopefully it doesn't affect the race too much, as now 24 is being backed up into Panabianco, and this could be an overtaking opportunity here. Panabianco into the draft through turn 1, which is essentially a nothing corner, especially in these cars. But turn 2, Curva Grande, fantastic stuff. Chassis the car hits the floor in the compression. The drivers are loving it through there. So it's a little bit scary, but mostly they just absolutely love driving through that part of the circuit. Meanwhile, Tsiotsis is currently gaining ever so slightly on Alberto NASCAR out in front. We'll see how that battle evolves over the next couple of laps. Meanwhile, we've got Hazelman's look to the outside into Campagnano. Didn't get close enough, unfortunately, to try and make any moves stick there. Is right on the bumper of the 23 now, though. This is the closest that he's been since he ceded the position. Is just trying to get as close as possible. Actually going to have a look around the outside here. Maybe try and get a better exit. Has got a better exit, but unfortunately the 23 just a little bit too wide. Goes to the outside now. Now this could be an opportunity if he can get a better exit out of Torrentino. But he can't quite get it. I think a little bit too much curb on the inside. Unsettled the car a little bit too much. Here we go then to start lap number 5. As Alberto NASCAR crosses the line, and Tsiotsis back to 8/10 behind. So maybe a little bit of a slip up from NASCAR. Oh, a lap or two ago. Look how close they are here, going through turn 2. Yet more dust from the cars in front. Pontonen not going for a defensive line. A little bit of a lock up there from one of the drivers. And now towards the inside, Hazelman has a little bit of a look, but that's never really going to work out. The gap was always going to close on him. Does the right thing and backs out of it, but backed out maybe a little bit too much. Lost out quite a lot of time there. A little bit of a battle going on. A little bit further back, we've got Kroot and Malkarek still being caught by Panabianco. These three very close together now. The 69 of the Kroot, followed by Malkarek in that number 24. 24, of course, that did win earlier on in EuroNASCAR Pro, driven by Alonde. now sitting in 7th position with Panabianco in the 89 right on his tail. And are we going to see a lunge up the inside here? Yes, we are. Almost contact being made there, just about back down to the time. I don't think Marko was expecting that. Closed the door massively, a little bit late, but just about managed to make that one work out okay. What that has allowed is the crew to extend a little bit of a gap. It's not quite involved in this battle anymore. Hazeman still trying to catch Pontinet. So they make their way across the line to start lap 6 of 15. We are 40% of the way through this race. And there goes Hazeman in towards Chimney 1 and Chimney 2. Tried to go around the outside and swap back to the inside again. Didn't quite work out, but he's got a monster run now. Heading down the back straight in towards Campagnano. Are we going to see a lunge being made on this occasion? I don't think we are. I think he's lifted off a bit. He hasn't quite got the run into the corner that he would have liked. Always taking a wider entry on corners and then trying to get a better exit, but not quite working as well as he would have hoped. Through Cerati they go now. Through turn 9 and into Semaforo. And around the outside again, just trying to get a good exit. A little bit of a compromised line there though for Liam Hazelmans. Doing everything possible to just completely fill the mirrors of the number 23. Just reminding him that he's there. Maybe trying to force some kind of mistake out of the Finnish driver. Temperatures in the cars are soaring at this point. But look how close they are. Coming out of the final corner now, you can see there, you can barely see Hazeman's car. And this is going to be the best opportunity yet. Look at this. He's right on the rear bumper. Is he going to go for a move down the inside and towards turn number 2? He is. He swoops down the inside and Hazeman is up into 4th position. What a beautiful move that was. Pontinet not putting up too much of a fight. But Hazeman with such a run out of the final corner, it was almost impossible for him not to take that position, although he has run a bit deep. And is it going to be a complete carbon copy of what happened on lap number 1? No, it's not. He just about holds speed around the outside. Meanwhile, while this has all been happening, as we're about to see on the bottom of the screen, about NASCAR's gap to Tsiotsis, well, it's massively dropped. Look at that. Only a few car lengths separating the two drivers now as the race approaches halfway distance. And NASCAR maybe taking a little bit too much out of his tyres on the first couple of laps. Did build a bit of a gap, but that gap is very quickly, very rapidly declining. As they make their way through the twisty bit in the 3rd sector now. And a big lunge up the inside into Dorentino, and he's had to back out of that one. As Tsiotsis, he went for it. NASCAR closed the door, and there's a big impact there into the wall. I didn't quite see what car it is. I think there might be 2 of them into the wall there. That was massive. Hopefully both drivers are okay. But there was massive contact into the barriers there at what looked like high speed as well. We'll wait and see if we can get more information about what's just happened there. That was massive. And I'm hearing that it was the 89 of Panabianco. It is. It's Panabianco that's off into the wall. And potentially the number 40 of Neo Lambert as well. But that's the 89 of Panabianco, and that is huge contact into the barrier. Can't quite make out where that is on the circuit, but it wasn't too far behind the leaders, so it must have been into Semaforo maybe. We'll certainly see now as they make their way down towards this, the race leaders. And it does appear that that is where the incident has happened. As they slow down now, I believe they were seeing some yellow flags and make their way back in towards Esther. And yes, it is. It was into Semaforo where Panabianco has had that big contact with the wall. Yellow flag's out, and the safety car is out. Not surprisingly, safety car is back out onto the circuit once again today. 2 safety car periods earlier on, and the safety car is back out once again here as well. Still trying to get some information about what happened to Panabianco, but it definitely was Panabianco into the wall. And there's still quite a bit of debris out there on the circuit as well, out by turns 2 and 3 by Curva Grande. So a little bit of work for the marshals to do now as the cars all slow down and catch up to single file once more. It will be Alberto Nasca leading the field, followed by Siortsis, Dubek, Hazemans, Pontonen, Zekrut, Malkorek, Kolok, Schober and Sokolovsky. And I believe you can see in the background of the shot that that is Panabianco just on the other side of the barrier, sitting down. He is out of the car. He looks like he should be okay, so that's good to see. And the marshals are working now on recovering that car as well. And you can see there now as well the 89 car being towed off of the circuit as the safety car pulls up to the scene of the accident. And there as well in the background is one of the other cars. I think that looked like the 44 almost. Although I know that the 44 isn't racing, but there is definitely a car up there being pushed back. And another car off and out of the way there in the hairpin. Inside of Torrentino, in the infield of it, you can just about see it now on the screen. The car in between 2 barriers. The car in the barrier was the 46 of Miguel Gomez, who unfortunately didn't make it past the opening lap of the race. Well, with the car clear, it wouldn't surprise me if we go green at the end of this lap. We'll have to wait quite a while until the safety car lights either go off or stay on. But it seems like the at least the hazard that I know of has now been cleared. Inside the hairpin, it is the number 40 of Neo Lambert, so possibly a technical issue with that car, mechanical issue on the inside of the hairpin there as well. Didn't see what happened to that car, but that is also out of this race. If we do get going at the end of this lap, we will have 6 laps remaining in this race. That is best case scenario. 6 laps. Siortsis was already right on the back of Alberto Nasca. Just a few tenths of a second separating them. So side by side for the restart. It's going to be interesting. So we just saw the President CEO of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series on our screens for a moment. Putting on a fantastic show for all of us. The lights on the safety car, if they do, usually go out around about this part of the circuit, around about turn 9, turn 10. So we will see now if the drivers are going to go 2 by 2, we are going to get back going underway again, or if we will have another lap also under safety car conditions. So everyone's eyes go to the top of that safety car there. And it looks like we are not ready to go back to green flag conditions, or are we? This is the question. I think the answer to that question is no. We are going to have another lap on the safety car. Possibly some barrier repairs still to be done. The new best case scenario for the drivers, 5 laps of racing when we go green. To remind you of the current driver order, Alberto NASCAR leads this race, has led the entire thing so far. Starting from pole position, of course. And why not? We'll get a replay of the race start as well. They went side by side through turn 1, and I thought Stewart might have had a good start, but it wasn't quite good enough to get ahead of NASCAR in towards turn number 2. Car off in the background, out of the chimneys as well. And then this move being made by Liam Hazemans on Pontin here, down the inside the turn 2. Brilliant stuff from the young Dutchman there. Move being made for the lead by Tsiotsis. Unfortunately, didn't quite pay off for him and is still stuck in the second position just behind Alberto NASCAR. Running order of the race so far as it stands, Alberto NASCAR leads. And then we've got Tsiotsis in second, Dubeck in third, and Hazemans in fourth. Those two drivers both doing double duty, so they're both racing in both EuroNASCAR Pro and EuroNASCAR 2, and doing a pretty good job in both. Then Pontonen in fifth position. We're looking to try and get a good start on the restart, as did for the race start. De Groot in sixth position. Markarek in 7th, Kolok in 8th, Schober in 9th, Sokolovsky rounding out your top 10. Here we go then. All the lights on the safety car are going to turn off this time by yes, they will. Safety car is in this lap. Double file restart for this one as well. And they will go into double file when they come out of the tightest corner on the circuit. Torrentino, it would be a bit of a mission to try and go too wide through that part of the circuit. Here they go. They line up 2 by 2 on the left side. Alberto NASCAR at the front, followed by Dubeck. On the right side, Tsiotsis, followed by Hazemans. The safety car will go through Essen now and pull off to the left-hand side of our screens into the pit lane in just a moment. And once again, for the second time today, leave the field in Alberto NASCAR's control. There it goes. NASCAR leads the field on the inside. Coming around the final corner. Still under yellow, waiting for the green. And there it is, we are green, and that is another good launch from Hazeman. Look at that, he's already up at the 3rd position. He's fully ahead of De Beck. They're going to go 3 wide in towards turn number 2, Curva Grande, and Hazeman is up into 3rd position now, and just about, there's a car that's gone off slightly at Curva Grande, but just about, they've all made it through cleanly, making it into Chimney 1 and Chimney 2. Double drivers running a little bit wide onto the tarmac, but no harm there. But it's your top 3 that we're focusing on now. Alberto Nasca, Zioxis in 2nd, just behind, and Hazeman with a monster of a start up into 3rd position in that number 50 machine, up into the podium places. We are now on lap side by side here in towards turn number 8. 24 on the inside, it's Malkorek trying to defend from Sokolovsky, who's also had a great start and is moving up through the back as well. Side by side as well between Pontonen and De Cruz, I think it was. And they're still side by side now. Through the hairpin, the leaders go. And there they are, side by side, Pontonen and De Cruz. De Cruz gets through. The number 69 up into 5th position. But for how long? He's made a little bit of a mistake on the outside, and Pontonen's got the inside line now for the final corner at Roma. They're going to go side by side again. Out of the final corner they go. And somehow on the inside, he's managed to get a good enough run. They're still side by side. The inside line has the advantage. Heading in towards turn number 2 at Curva Grande. You'll know this, Pontonen. And the group manages to carry more speed around the outside and hold on to that position for now. They're oh so close in the braking zone for Chimney 1. They're still side by side now. They spent half a lap side by side at this point. Out of Chimney 2 they go. A little bit of gravel being picked up, a little bit squirrely as he rejoins the circuit. And now here comes Kolok to try and take another position off of him. Side by side through Campagnano. These two drivers go. Side by side a little bit further back as well. It's not the only battle going on the circuit. The crew with the inside line through turn 8. And not a contest. Drives out of the corner. Superb exit. The 27 of Schobers now trying to have a look at Kolok as well, as they make their way down towards turn number 10 now. And it's a send around the outside, but only half a car alongside, and that's not going to work particularly well, as they all sort of calm down now after the restart. As Alberto Nasca starts the next lap of the race. Just 3 laps remaining for Alberto Nasca to try and take his 3rd win of the season. There's been a bit of a pattern evolving in that every race meeting that Alonde wins, Alberto Nasca wins as well, and vice versa. Both of them winning the 2nd and 3rd rounds this season. Alon won round 5 in EuroNASCAR Pro, so that pattern is continuing at this point. We'll see if he manages to hold on. Only half a second of a gap. As we look at De Beck and Pontonen a little bit further back, De Groot all on his own in the number 69 car. Got a second ahead of him, a second behind him. And now he's going to try and make a move. Not quite able to make that work. We've seen a lot of drivers try it so far today. Not a lot of them having much success though. Across the line goes Alberto NASCAR, 2 laps to go. Actually, it's the white flag lap. It's the final lap of the race. So NASCAR in a brilliant position here, heading in towards Campagnano for the final time. He's got CEST around about 0.8 of a second behind him, but I don't think that's going to bother him. At his home race, he just has half a lap to go. Oh, and into the wall. It looks like definitely off the circuit. The number 8 car in the wars again, Valeri. And I can't quite tell where on the circuit that is. But NASCAR now coming around through Semaforo and in towards Torrentino here as well. Tightest corner on the circuit. 3 corners to go for him now, through the left and the right of Esse. And just 1 corner left to go. CEST nowhere to be seen as we come around the final corner now. The number 88, Alberto NASCAR, fan favourite, home favourite in his home race for the very first time. He'll take the checkered flag and take the win here in round number 5 of the EuroNASCAR 2 Championship. Brilliant race from Alberto NASCAR. 2 race start, well, a race start and a safety car restart. Not a problem for him at all. Lights to checkered victory. A beautiful drive from the Italian at his home race as well. He is going to be delighted with that one as he makes his way back around the circuit. Out of Jiminy 2 it was. There was the number 8 of Valeri, and I wonder what has happened to Paolo Valeri there in that number 8 car. Off and what looked like into the wall, but out of the way enough that we didn't have to do a safety car. The race was ending in about 20 seconds anyway. The 88 there of Alberto NASCAR, fantastic result for him, extending his championship lead. As he makes his way back into the pit lane. And good for him as well is that Hateman and CEST were opposite to their positions in the championship order. So CEST in 3rd in the championship, finished 2nd. Hateman's 2nd in the championship, finished 3rd. So they've lost a bit extra in terms of the points. So the 2nd place finisher is a little bit further back than he otherwise could have been. So Alberto NASCAR, well, he's got quite a few points to his name now, a little bit more of a points advantage as well. Heading into tomorrow's 6th round of the championship. And what a weekend he is having so far. Pole position for the first time in his EuroNASCAR career and converts it into a race win. Never looking back, that's what he said on the grid, and that's exactly what he did. Never even looked under too much pressure from Vladimiros CEST, although we'll have to ask him after the race. We'll get Andre down there and see what he thinks about how that race went. He gets some applause. He is going to have a very, very happy team. The crowd are going to be very supportive of him as well. You can hear it in the background. And now we're going to see him. I think he's going to be a very, very excitable driver making his way out of that car there. We also do have a couple of other winners in this race as well. Of course, quite a few categories in EuroNASCAR 2, just as in EuroNASCAR Pro. Hazelmans wins the rookie trophy, finishing in 3rd position overall. De Groot finishing first in the Legends category, finishing 5th overall. So good job from each of those drivers as well. Del Castello finishing first in the Lady Trophy as well, I believe, in 8th position. And I'm quite surprised that Alberto hasn't got out of the car yet, because it must be absolutely baking in there. And we wait for him to get out the car. He is very, very happy with that. Up onto the top of the car he goes. And the celebrations begin. Alberto NASCAR wins in round number 5. You can see how much it means to him at his home race as well. The crowd are loving it. His team are loving it. But most importantly, he is loving it. Back onto the floor there. And a big, big hug with some of his team members there. Brilliant stuff to see down in the pit lane after what really was a fantastic performance from the rookie driver. First season in EuroNASCAR 2, 5 races in, 3 race wins, and two second place finishes. You cannot really ask for much more than that. And as celebrations still continue around him, we've got Andre down there who wants to have a chat with him. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, first of all, we let him a little bit drink, so. You ready? Are you getting used to be a regular visitor to Victory Lane in NASCAR racing?
You never get used to it. Never. It's always like the first time, you know. And here, in front of all my fans in Italy, that's the best feeling in the world, guys. Wow. Especially in a race like this one, where he never gave up for a meter. I had to push from the first to the last lap, 52 degrees inside. My feet were burning, and it's even okay outside the weather today. I can imagine tomorrow if it's 35 degrees outside, but wow, that's incredible.
Have you seen all the guys, the applause you get from there, all the guys on the grandstand? How does this feel?
That feels incredible. I mean, first time in my life that my fans are coming to watch me, and wow. Ragazzi, grazie a tutti. So che a casa eravate tantissimi, è stata pazzesca.
Grazie mille, congratulations.
Grazie.
Fantastic to hear from the race winner. Never getting used to a victory lane. Well, it might take him a little bit longer than 5 races in on the podium, but he is having a mightily impressive first season in EuroNASCAR 2 so far. As we reach the halfway point tomorrow, well, he's looking very good as a contender for the championship, extending his championship lead today as well. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And now it's time for Andre to speak with probably one of the most exhausted drivers on the grid at the moment.
Liam Hazelmans next to me. I asked Alberto NASCAR if he's getting used to win. Are you getting used to go on the podium in EuroNASCAR? He said it's always like the first time.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's always like the first time, but now I have to say, yeah, they're just too quick. Like Vladimiros and Alberto, yeah, they drove an amazing race. I tried to keep up with them after the safety car restart, but yeah, they were just too quick. So yeah, we still have some little things to find by my side too, but yeah, no, of course, super happy again to be again on the podium. So yeah, no, we just have to see for tomorrow, but we're well prepared, so we're happy.
We saw a nice passing in the beginning of the race, but the maneuver on the restart, you went from the outside to the inside, back to the outside. Just tell me what goes through your head when you're doing maneuvers like that?
Well, actually, yeah, you know, you're not really thinking. You know, it's like really karting experience. It's really more, you just try it, well, just try to be on the limit, and yeah, if it works, it works, it works out, so yeah, no. We're just really from karting experience, so no. Yeah, really happy, really nice.
All right, thank you, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. Thanks.
Oh, all right, thanks. Fantastic to see Liam there again. He's going to be up on the podium again Just fantastic stuff from Liam Hasemans there. I don't know how he does it, honestly. Being in both championships at the same time, it's very impressive for him to be able to do what he's doing and compete right up at the front. Awesome stuff from Liam there, as some of the drivers will be making their way over to the podium area now. But an absolutely fantastic race that we've just seen there. There was action throughout. And one of the drivers that was involved in quite a lot of that is back down on the pit lane with Andre.
Yeah, I'm here with Vladimiros Tsotis, another second place finish and another amazing battle with Alberto NASCAR. Before we talk about the result, how much fun is it to race that hard but at the same time that fair against Alberto NASCAR?
Yeah, it was a nice fight, you know, to have a clean fight and show the best of each driver capabilities is the most important in our days. So it was a nice race. Unfortunately, I think the safety cars cost everyone a little of time, but I look forward for tomorrow as I managed to save my tires by the last laps because I was looking at NASCAR, he was pushing.
I think you have some fans here around you. The team is cheering you up.
Yeah, they are equal to 5,000 fans, so for me.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we will see the Cypriot driver a little bit later on the podium as well. The Cypriot flag out there as well to get people a massive Cypriot flag there. It's great to see the support for Tsotis there. Brilliant stuff there in the pit lane. Brilliant atmosphere down there with all the drivers, all of the crew, all of the teams, all having a fantastic time down there. And it's pretty difficult not to. Everyone except the drivers is probably enjoying the heat and the weather. Just the drivers, maybe not so much the 60-degree heat inside of the cockpits. And we do have Andre standing by once again with yet another driver down in the pit lane. He never stops.
I'm here with the second place driver of the Lady Trophy, Luli de Castello. Your home race, how are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's perfect. Today it's perfect because I'm in 18th position and the first top 10 in this championship. So I'm so happy.
How is it with all the fans in the background for you?
Yeah. Around, over there. Ovunque.
All right, grazie mille, thank you so much.
Ciao a tutti. Grazie.
And that was a very, very happy Luli de Castello there, finishing, of course, in 8th position in the race. A fantastic job from her, and Andre's back at it again.
I'm here now with the Lady Trophy winner, Alia Koloc. Was a good race, right?
Yeah, it was a good race. I got my first top 10. On the last lap, I had a problem, so I lost 2 positions because I went out. But my first top 10 finish, so I'm happy.
All the tracks are new for you in a EuroNASCAR car. How is the Autodromo di Vallelunga for you?
It's really fun. There's some difficult corners that I'm still struggling with, but it's a really fun track, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Always great to hear from the drivers after the race. And yeah, 2 female drivers up in the top 10. Fantastic job from them as we prepare ourselves for the podium ceremony for EuroNASCAR 2. They will be getting underway very shortly. But difficult to round up all of the drivers as they're all trying to celebrate with their teams. They're doing a fantastic job of getting everyone around there. And Andre, who have you got to speak with now?
I got Matthew Ellis, who told me at Brands Hatch it's a one-off, I will not race any more races. And now you're in Italy, you're back again, and you're surely enjoying it, right?
Yeah, I know. I genuinely didn't think we were going to get here, didn't have the budget, but, you know, a lot of people pulled together. I wasn't going to say no. You know, I really enjoyed Brands, actually, I must admit. The whole atmosphere, the crowd, the teams, I loved it. So, yeah, we're here in Italy. We've got the weather, got the food, got the cars, and actually got quite a good result. I think we finished 12th from 20th, so really pleased. Not a single mark on the car. So ready for tomorrow. Fortunately, I only did like 4 or 5 laps in quali, so that's the only laps I've ever done here. So looking forward to tomorrow now, and then maybe Czech Republic after, and Croatia, and yeah.
Yeah, another place where we may have the sun. I mean, as a British guy, you're used to the rain.
Yeah, it's quite warm, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I've got my sun cream on. I've not burnt it yet, but no, actually, brilliant in the car. Bit of ducting, it was quite comfortable, so I reckon I'll be all right. The others.
All right, thank you so much, and enjoy the event.
Thank you, I will do.
Very happy, Ellis over there. Yeah, didn't expect him to be here. He didn't expect to be here, but yeah, he is. He's been here, and he did a fantastic job. As he said, he did get indeed 12th position in this race, and yeah, having some issues, not able to make any of the practice sessions. So yeah, making that kind of performance on literally 5 laps of practice around the circuit is yeah, very good job from Matthew Ellis there. Everybody getting ready, gathered around the podium now as we await the arrival of our top 3 from the race. We've got 4 podiums to do from EuroNASCAR 2. We had 3 earlier on for EuroNASCAR Pro. We've got 4 podiums to do in EuroNASCAR 2. Starting off with just the overall race results, but you can see the fans, they are having a fantastic time. Crowding in as densely as possible into the pit lane to get as close to the action as they can for the podium. And the podium presentation getting underway. 3rd place driver Liam Hazemans onto the podium there, onto the 3rd step of the podium. Vladimiros Tsiotsis into the 2nd place with the Cypriot flag on his back. And you can hear the cheers from the crowd as well. As we await our winning driver in round number 5 of EuroNASCAR 2, Alberto Nascar, onto the top step of the podium. How he is so energetic after that race, I never know. Trophies being presented. 3rd place for Liam Hazemans. Another trophy to his collection from just this day. Vladimir Tsiotsis gets his 2nd place trophy, and now the big one goes to Alberto Nascar. Up into the air it goes. So much energy from Alberto Nascar. And big cheers from the crowd as the national anthem of Italy comes to an end. And once again, we get a race for the top 3. Who's going to open the champagne bottles first? Who's going to do it? It is Alberto Nascar. Great to see the celebrations there, sprayed right into the face of Liam Hazemans there. Oh, are we going to get a shoey? We are. We're going to get a shoey from Alberto NASCAR. There it is. A shoey from the Italian driver of the number 88, Alberto NASCAR. As the top three make their way from the podium. Brilliant stuff to see from the top three. Everyone's just having a fantastic time out there. And we will cast our attention over to the next podium presentation, which is, I believe, going to be the Legends Trophy. So this is for EuroNASCAR 2 drivers that are over 40 years old. That doesn't mean they're any slouches. The driver who has won this category finished in 5th place overall, so definitely no slouches here. Had a fantastic race. So we will await the arrival of the top three from the EuroNASCAR 2 Legends Trophy. Should be ready for the Legend Trophy in just a minute's time. And we are ready for it now as third place driver is going to make his way onto the podium. And onto the third step of the podium. There he goes eventually. It is Yevgen Sokolovsky. On to the second step of the podium, Roberto Benedetti. And the winner in the Legends Trophy makes his way up there. We spoke to him before the race. On the top step of the podium, it is Melvin de Groot. 5th place overall. 1st place in the Legends Trophy. The trophy is being presented there to the young ones. Your top three in the Legends Trophy. Melvin de Groot on top step of the podium. Roberto Benedetto in 2nd position. Yevgen Sokolovsky in 3rd in that championship. And as they pose for their group photo, we can cast our eyes onto what the next podium will be, the 3rd podium of 4 of this EuroNASCAR 2 Championship, and it is the Rookie Trophy. So this one is for EuroNASCAR 2 drivers in their 1st NASCAR season. And we're going to see some familiar faces on this podium, I would imagine. In 3rd position, Tuomas Pontinen joining us on the podium, joining us for the first time, just the last round in Brands Hatch. 2nd position, back on the podium again today, Liam Hazemans, and back onto the top step of the podium once again, it is Alberto NASCAR with a fantastic first 5 rounds of his rookie NASCAR Whelen Euro Series season. Your top 3 in the Rookie Trophy, Tuomas Pontinen, Liam Hazemans, and Alberto NASCAR. And as they make their way off of the podium, it's time to cast our eyes forward to the 4th and final podium of today. It is the Lady Trophy for female drivers in EuroNASCAR 2. And on to the 3rd step of the podium, Alina Leubnegger. In 2nd place, Elia Kolik. And onto the top step of the podium, Luli Del Castello. at her home race as well. Here at the Italian NASCAR Grand Prix. Lots of applause from the crowd as well. As Italian onto the top step of the podium. And that will round out the podiums for EuroNASCAR 2 here for round number 5 of their championship, of course, at Vallelunga Circuit. A brilliant display of racing that we've just seen over the 60-kilometer event. As we cast our eyes forward onto tomorrow, where we will see it all over again. First up, the 60-kilometer race from EuroNASCAR 2, and then afterwards, EuroNASCAR Pro. You can see on the screen now the schedule. Saturday on the left, we can ignore all of that now. That's all done. 10 past 10 tomorrow morning, Central European Summertime for EuroNASCAR Pro. And then at 20 past 1 in the afternoon for EuroNASCAR 2. Thank you everybody for watching today on Saturday. We've had 2 fantastic races and a great qualifying session earlier on as well. We hope to see you joining us tomorrow for the final 2 races at Vallelunga.
Bene. Ok, sigla. Così faccio Ezio Muccio. Sì. No, sono 3 minuti in realtà qua. Ok, io ci provo. Sto qua. Minuti.
Moraš da, samo lajsna ima gore, ali pusti lajsnu.